I'm vlogging again, which means there's something wrong. It's, I try not to think of it that way, but it really is very much so, the trend. Um, I'm trying to, I guess I should just walk around with the camera. I try to keep my room. I pride myself in having space to walk around in. My sister and I have the same exact room, but she has a bunch of like huge furniture inside of her room. Like she's got a bed, of course. Her desk. Now that I think about it, her desk is actually smaller than I am, but just because of where it's positioned in the room, takes up more space than mine. Mine's just in the corner on that desk. Um, it's in the corner, but hers is much more like right in the middle, right there. She's got a big TV on the wall. She's got um, big game chair, and it's always a nightmare walking through it. But I don't have a big game chair. I have an office chair, and doesn't take up as much room. So I like having this space on the floor, which, all right, well that's a bunch of garbage, but it's not a good bunch of garbage. It's just a notebook. Anyway, um, yeah, today's grievance is brought to you by trying my hand at relationships again. Um, I hate dating. Dating sucks so much. Um, it's it's kind of like right now I'm at a point where it feels like kind of I don't want to say a waste of time, but I want to say like like I wish people had the ability to be more straightforward with each other and just actually say what they're feeling. And that goes for me as well because uh if I had said something to this girl right from the get-go, like I kind of did, you know. I'm not gonna say I didn't, but it wasn't like a straight up like um I'm trying to date you. Like I guess it was more like a hint that I was interested, you know. But everyone's so worried about maintaining friendships that uh, when the prospect of a relationship shows up, we tend to back away from it and kind of just ignore it. We kind of just say, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Maybe the problem will work itself out. I'm gonna ride this wave, and I don't know. I just don't believe that's how we should deal with these sort of things. I think that's kind of fucked because we kind of just assume that the other person will understand us, and no, the other person will not understand you. Communication is a huge factor. You know what? I guess that's your first sign of trouble. Is if the person's having trouble talking to you about something, uh, maybe work on that before you even try to move forward. If the person that you're trying to talk to just can't find themselves try to be honest with you, you know, maybe it's not gonna work out. You know, of course, you want to try to find people who have the same interests as you, but uh, they can only carry you so far if they can't even t- talk to you properly. You know. Anyway, um, that's my little ranty rant on that. I'm trying to keep these things to a minimum just so that the video isn't like half an hour long of me talking about the same thing sentence after sentence, which is just saying the same thing over and over again. Um, anyway, uh, trying to get back into doing stage plays again. Uh, for just to remind myself, the last show I did was I would say about a year ago. Yeah, it was exactly a year ago. Um, no, it's not. It's not exactly a year ago. It was like a year and a month ago. I was in a production of Guys and Dolls, and I played Big Julie, and that was my first stage play ever, and I loved it. And I've always wanted to try and do it all over again. It's just, the reason why I got to do the show in the first place was all circumstantial. It was like a string of events that made it possible. Uh, Unfortunately, those circumstances no longer exist. So, kind of hard to do that again, you know, especially now that uh, I got a job and I didn't before. That was one thing. Like, you have like rehearsal, you have the times and whatnot, and I don't have the time anymore. I don't have as much open availability in that sense. So, but I'm trying to audition. I actually got casted as this is just a bit role, so I doubt I'll get called in to do a bunch of things, but um, there's still performance dates. So, I don't know. I guess I'm trying really hard not to get typecast into this sort of thing because um, I read or watched a video a few days ago about typecasting and how certain people who seem like they were gonna turn into big stars because of their initial role that they took, like Haley Joel Osment being the weird ghost kid. Because he took that role, he was kind of just seen as the weird ghost kid, and anytime he tried to stray away from that, producers just couldn't, like disassociate him from The Sixth Sense, and so we never get to see Haley Joel Osment in like movies. And he found some other stuff that he can do, so good on him. He's voice acting my favorite protagonist for my favorite game series that's not coming out yet, and it makes me sad. There was a I don't know if it was a leak or if it was like if it was available to the public, but like Square Enix had I guess it would be a shareholders meeting, detailing their plans for the rest of 2017 all the way to fiscal year 2018. And there was a slide that said, here is the stuff we're going to release for fiscal year 2017, and here's the stuff we're going to release for 2018. And under 2018 was a bunch of games that people want from Square Enix, two of which would be the Final Fantasy VII Remake and the Kingdom Hearts 3. The Kingdom Hearts 3. Everything else on it had a date, or had at least like winter 2018 or whatever, but Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3 did not. So it's like, fuck, like, they don't even have dates, which sucks. I just want a trailer, honestly. I want to know that I know they're working on it, but I want to see something new, because they've made progress. I want to see gameplay of a new world, at the very least. Um, like I don't really care for story content. I just want to see content. You know, I don't need to know about the story quite yet. I just want to see it. You know, show me the Big Hero 6 world that they're working on. Anyway, um, getting back into Kingdom Hearts, I've been watching Liam formerly from Two Best Friends playing Kingdom Hearts 1, and I just remembered how much I love this series. Not remembered. I mean, I always know, but specifically that one, I was just like, because I don't really have any fond memories over Kingdom Hearts 1. It wasn't my first Kingdom Hearts game. My first Kingdom Hearts game was Kingdom Hearts 2. And actually, when I went back to Kingdom Hearts 1, I played the PS2 copy that my friend gave me. I bought it from him. And I just remembered, I never beat that game because of how bad the controls were. I just hated the camera. But I did reach all the way up to the final boss, and I just never beat the final boss. So that save file sitting there. And now my PS2 controllers are broken, so I can't even play it. But I did beat the PS3 version, where they fixed the camera. Anyway, so the other thing is, I'm streaming with my friend Jadrian. He's over at Goofy Fiasco. I'll put a link in the description. We started our own LP of Kingdom Hearts 1 because he wants to get into it, because Kingdom Hearts is a pretty cool series. It is ridiculous. I'm not gonna front. It seems ridiculous from the outside. Once you get in, you'll know that it's pretty screwy. It's just, the plot gets so complicated. It gets so bogged down by all these like intricacies, and it's like I played Dream Drop Distance thinking that I would get more clarity into the series, and it's just not happening. Um, and I've played as much of the Kingdom Hearts games as I could, and I'm not touching Chain of Memories. I feel like that's far away enough from the plot right now that I don't care, and I don't need to care. Um, it's just I hate that game so much. It's literally the black sheep of the people don't like Birth by Sleep. Some people don't like Dream Drop Distance. I personally like those. Especially considering that Chain of Memories exists. Or sorry, Chain of Memories, because Chain of Memories I heard was pretty okay, because that game was built to be a card game on a handheld on a 2D plane. The transition to the PS2 is neat. I like that concept, but it doesn't work out because now you're in a 3D space and you're still using the card deck. If you could remake Chain of Memories and just give me my regular command deck, that'd be great. I know they're not gonna do it, but if someone could figure out a way to mod regular attacks into, I wouldn't mind if it was just a straight up Kingdom Hearts game, because that's all I want. I would play Chain of Memories if it was like that, but I can't deal with fucking cards, man. Anyway, I've been getting back into comics. I don't know if I ever mentioned it on video, but I've been reading Saga for I might have mentioned it at some point, but I picked up the first copy. I've been getting volumes. I picked up the first volume about like a year ago or half a year ago, and then the very next time I went to my local comic shop, which isn't very local at all. It's just my friend is involved in that comic shop, so I try to buy all my comic books from there. The very next time I went, I bought every single volume that was available back then, which the owner of the store took notice of and went, so I see you like the first volume, huh? And I'm like, yup. So I read all the way up to volume 6, and I found out that volume 7 wasn't coming out until like much, much later, which is now. I have it. I just bought it. I've been not harassing, but I've been calling them, and I've been walking in and out of that comic shop, which isn't an easy thing to do, because it's like literally like 30-40 minutes away from where I live. I've just been waiting a long time for this volume to come out. It's made by the same guy that wrote Why the Last Man, and I remember reading that one and loving it. So I read up on Saga, and it's super good, and I can't wait to read this. My friend has half of my copies of Saga, because I tried to get as many people as I knew into Saga, but it kind of just got stuck at her place because he didn't bother reading it. No, that's not true. He's busy. So screw it. He can borrow it whenever he wants. It's just what is it? I listened to the Super Best Friend cast, and they made notice of anytime a new volume of Saga comes out, you kind of have to have the old volume with you to remind yourself of what happened that last time. And because I haven't read Saga in a while, I feel like I should reread the entire thing, but I need the other half of those copies, man. Also, it's just nice to look at, honestly. It's just nice to look at having all 7 of the volumes on me. But while that's going on, I've also been reading these. And this is volume 1 of the Archie reboot, and I finished it, and I love it. The characters are based off of Riverdale, apparently. At least the style, or what Fiona Staples was going for during the reboot. And I like it. I mean, I kind of like the whole more realistic look to Archie. I feel like I get into it way more than I feel like I can take it more seriously, you know. Not to say that I couldn't have taken old Archie seriously, but I was also talking to the owner of the comic shop that I go to, and he kind of mentions it, like yeah, it's a reboot. It's because Archie's kind of I don't want to say like it's old hat, but he did say like they've been doing the same joke for like the past 40 years of is he gonna go with Betty, is he gonna go with Veronica, and it didn't feel like there was any sort of growth to it. So the reboot is trying to, be more about the interpersonal relationships of the characters of Riverdale. Um, and I like it. It feels matured, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna alienate an audience. It does feel like it's more geared towards teens and young adults. So that's definitely up my alley. But I picked up Volume 1 as I do. I don't tend to buy issues. I tend to buy volumes. And so I bought Volume 1, and I read it, and then I decide if I want the rest of the volumes. And because I go through graphic novels so quickly, what I tend to do is I try to buy every single volume available. Just because, Saga, I did that with Saga, and that kept me busy for a long while. I don't, and also because the trip is just so, because it's literally again it's literally like 40 minutes away from where I live. Um, when I try to buy comic books, I usually tend to buy as many as I can while I'm there. It's just it gets expensive sometimes. So now that I'm into Saga and I'm into Archie, I'm good with those. I might get into a third series, but I don't want to overwhelm myself. But considering that I buy these and these come out literally every 6 months, um, I think I'm good. Just every 6 months I get super busy, I would assume. But I picked up Volume 2, and as the owner of the comic shop was ringing me up, we were talking about the Archie reboot, and I kind of just offhand asked him, "Hey, when do you think Volume 3 is gonna show up? Because I'm getting into this Archie thing now, and like, you know, kind of know when the next time I should drop by here." And he takes a few minutes, looks through his computer, and he goes, "Actually, today. So guess what? I picked up Volume 3 as well." Um, so I know nothing about Archie. I will soon enough. But I don't know. Uh, if anyone cares about my opinion, um, I hate Veronica. I hate her so much. It's such an obvious choice. Someone asks you Betty or Veronica. Right now, I'm just like, come on, man. It's fucking Betty. Are you kidding me? There's no contest. I mean, like, they humanize the character. I don't know. I've never read Archie before, so I don't know. But um, the characters feel human, and so I guess I can't really say Veronica. I hate Veronica because she does have some of her own personal conflicts. But if I had to choose, you know, I'd be like, come on, man, Betty. Betty seems like the coolest person in the world. Um, but that's me, and that's an opinion. So I'm gonna read those, and I'm gonna wait to read this. I have been waiting for this for when was the last time I read an issue? It was probably like November, December was the last time I read Saga. Whew. Because these issues come out once a month. Volumes come out every 6 issues. You see my dilemma. So the next volume is probably, I don't know, what, like November, December? Jesus. Um, probably October, actually. Now that I think about it. Now I'm counting the months. Probably October. Because this came out end of April. So excited. Anyway, that's it. This video was 20 minutes anyway. I hope everyone has a lovely day, and I hope I never have to make one of these vlogs again. Seriously, because these usually just happen because I'm like feeling down and I need to talk out loud. And also, I'm doing this thing again now. It's hot, and I don't want to go to bed. Um, it's what, like 4 in the morning? Fuck, I hate it. It was 95 degrees earlier. I could not stand it. Um, literally walking. Like, I parked my car, what, like half a minute away from, like, 30 seconds walking distance from the comic shop, and I was dying. It was just the absolute worst. And I had to walk back to my car. Oh, nightmare. Am I right? Anyway, that's it for me. I hope everyone else has a fantastic day. And see you guys whenever. Hopefully, the next time I vlog, it's not gonna be like some sort of serious thing. I try not to make it serious. Like, look, I peppered in my comic books. Oh, and also, yeah, the stream I did with my friend Jadrian over at Goofy Fiasco. I'm gonna put a link in the description because we did record it. It's 2 hours long. Uh, it is très long. I don't know. But it is très bien. Um, I haven't spoken French in like a year, maybe 2, maybe 3. It's been a while, so excuse it. I should just stop talking. All right. Goodbye, everyone.